We keep hearing that the American consumer's tapped out. Really? High-end? Luxury consumer? They ever go out? Can they keep the economy moving? Are affluent consumers tightening their purse strings? I got one guy who knows this pulse of this part of the market better than anybody in the country. Jonathan Tisch, chairman and CEO of Loews Hotels, 25-year friend, to talk about the high-end consumer and what it means to the rest of us. Mr. Tisch, how you been?
What's up, buddy?
All right, tell me, occupancy, because I have to believe that the saving grace of this economy are the people who check in at your places.
Very much so, but the consumer is just bereft. They don't know what to do. You talk about it every day on the show, energy costs, unemployment. They don't know what their house is worth. And it's hard for them to go on a high-end trip when they just can't have a sense of what their net worth is. Now, that said, here in New York especially, other big destinations that have lift from international cities, they're doing okay. We are benefiting in New York City because of the weak dollar. If it wasn't for that, I'd be very concerned.
All right, well, let's get to some raw numbers. What kind of occupancy this year versus last year?
What you're seeing across the board is that occupancy is up 2 or 3%, which is not bad, especially here in New York City. There are other markets that are really hurting. If you look at Hawaii, a disaster. Hawaii, because the airlines are cutting back on the number of seats going into the marketplace. There aren't very many ways to get to Hawaii except on an airplane. If you look at Las Vegas, a disaster. Too many rooms, possible overbuilding. The consumer isn't as willing to spend those bucks on gambling. There are a couple markets that are really hurt, but across the board, even up a bit. But some of the public companies are saying going forward that they may see flat growth in terms of RevPAR or even negative growth. Wow. That's a problem. Now, the big public companies are benefiting from their overseas exposure.
Okay.
So they're doing well in Europe. They're doing very well in China. But for some of the smaller companies that are dependent on U.S., it's a problem.
Right, now, I know it's not your style of your company, but this Vegas market's one of the worst I've ever seen, right? I mean, that's just really turned down.
Absolutely.
Disaster. Are there places that you can now take advantage of because there's operators maybe going under? Can you pick and choose?
Well, we're certainly looking to expand. We have 18 hotels at Loews Hotels. It's the founding division of what is today Loews Corporation. We've been in the business for 65 years. I'm a third-generation hotelier.
I stay there.
We appreciate that.
Philadelphia's the only one I don't stay because I used to live there, but that's a great one.
Thank you. Yeah. So what we're seeing is that the competition to buy hotels that are for sale is still pretty stiff. You've got private equity groups. You've got offshore capital that want to have a presence, especially in the United States, especially in gateway markets. Okay. So New York, Boston, San Francisco, Atlanta. These are prime markets, and if you're coming from Dubai with some capital, if you're coming from Hong Kong with some capital, these are markets that you're trying to expand your brand, you want to be in. You may pay a little bit more than we can afford as a publicly traded company.
That's a good point. Saving grace. Now, there's another end of the highest end in the world are people who are season ticket holders at perhaps the toughest ticket in the world to get, which is the New York Giants. Your family co-owns with the Mara family. Are people willing to pay those huge seat licenses? Are you seeing any resistance there?
Jim, we announced our PSL program, as we call it, about a month ago. And there has been some consternation amongst the fans.
Because give them to me.
Well, you may have the opportunity. What they're saying is, I've, to the Maras and to the Tisches, I've owned this seat in my family for 70, 75 years, and all of a sudden you want to charge me so that you build a new stadium. I didn't ask you to build a new stadium. What we're saying is that we're going to have the best stadium probably in the world, certainly in terms of the United States, in terms of putting on a football product. What we're also saying is that we will take the fan experience into consideration as we design and build this new facility. So the PSL allows you, as the owner of the seat, to control the economics. Okay. The value of the seat is controlled by the marketplace, but then the appreciation is all yours. Okay. So you pay us X, and then the market appreciates, and you want to sell it someday, the appreciation is yours. You pocket that. We don't.
I've taken the same deal just, in Philadelphia, and I'm actually thrilled with mine. There's another team in town. I don't know. They got this guy from the, I don't know, it's like a Wisconsin. Going to overshadow your team?
Nothing overshadows the Super Bowl winning New York Giants. And I appreciate that Brett is a wonderful future Hall of Famer. I was there in Green Bay when the Giants beat him. I have never been so cold in my life. I was so proud of our team. the dedication and the group that Tom Coughlin has put together. I wish the Jets well. They're our partners in our new venture.
Right.
But we got a Super Bowl trophy.
Okay, Jonathan Tisch. And a great book, by the way. Chocolates on the Pillow aren't enough. Had you on for that. Great to see you. Thank you for your explanation of everything. And your candor. Mad Money at the Half. We'll be right back.